Got your favorite Pakistan, is a Western song. After the red on the wood, like a rescue dog. Make my win on track, keep up on road. Make my win on track, keep up on road. We're all cool, yeah. Yeah, car, no. Okay. Bye-bye. This is a OSU football stadium in the background here. And when I first moved into the apartment, I was listening to a lot of Wesley Willis, actually. And I was having a breakdown, a nervous breakdown, as my father would say. But the OCD was going crazy. And I remember I used to do rituals, and you can see the M up there. You know, M is like my name, Martin. So I would like twirl my head around the M, and I'd have to do it the right way, and I'd be like going like this all the time. I'd be going like this, you know, and like sometimes I'd wake up and my neck be sore because I would do it so much during the day. I'd do these rituals. I'd drink bourbon and I'd go like this around the M because that was like security. It's a complete circle. And towards the end, when I was finishing my dissertation, I had all these birds. I would sit right here at the computer, and all these birds would come, and they'd like hit. They can't see that this is glass. They think it's just open space, so they'd like kill themselves basically. And there was one. There was one time when two of them hit the window, and I look up, and I'm drunk and I'm stoned off the top of my head, and I look out, and there's a dead bird on the ground, and then there's another one, and it's looking up at the wall. It's like down like this, and it's like looking up at the wall. And I said, what in the hell is going on? I thought like it killed the other one. It like was showing remorse or something. And it was just like staring up in the daze at the wall. And then a couple days after that, another bird hit the window, and I said, okay, now I know what's going on. No longer let them be aware that they in the woods are evolving like Werner's Law. The sparrows are taken to the sky, mama, as if the earth had forgotten them for its temporary death by winter in the soil. It's a short life where they've come from. 20 minutes into their own flight, they will slip the maple in which the sleep of other birds goes on like a vision. Now here like a vision, what we're talking about, but then they must come down. They must come down. This moment in and out of time when we must come down, for the path on the hill which we share with them is a miracle. A kiss that we give them as I hold your hand. And for the moment, un momento, that is enough. And as the hush of snow wind, where winter finds us out, is everywhere, and we freezing, and we in love, Daddy. God goes to see this building. God goes to my soul, disability. God goes to my soul, this building. So I decided I was going to write my dissertation on prosody and how it created mnemonic instances in Walt Whitman's poetry. So he would break the line, even though it was free verse, you could still scan it. He'd break the line to create meaning in these really weird ways. So I got obsessed by the dissertation and pretty much isolated myself until the boss came to my class outside, and she said, you cannot give your final exam on God. Indiana boy. Vincennes, Indiana love poem with geese. All over Vincennes, the DJs were giving strict piano lessons against the geese. That summer, in fact, some councilmen even saw a protest against the 10 Commandments in their eyes. Go figure. The newspaper told the truth. How many people here ever had a newspaper? Speak to them. Speak to them, tell them the truth. We all got newspapers speaking to us and telling the truth. And Vincennes, Indiana, during this love poem period, of the summer of 2001, the newspaper told the truth. The newspaper didn't lie. But at the Super 8, the young girl behind the desk told me a different story. That Brandon Phillips was in love with her, didn't put it in the story. Some things were just left untold, like the Word of God. The Word of God comes down. Where's my Bible? My Bible! I want my Bible! Well, the whole thing that God is in each and every one of us, it goes back to having a ghost in one's shoe. For instance, can you tell me about your life? Can I eat breakfast? I ask. The way to a woman's heart is through spaghetti. And you say, can I eat breakfast? I ask. Up in my room that night, see, sometimes, you know, I'll tell you a little story about like that phrase in that poem. Sometimes my arm wants to jump out of my body and wants to like act like it's a rooster that like is running down the streets like on a land run in Perry, Oklahoma. So sometimes my arm does that. So I say in the poem, up in my room that night, but my arm says, up in my room that night, up in the room that night, up on the boardwalk. Oh, up in the room that night, up on the boardwalk. So like I had to basically hit myself, like yes, because you know I got a ghost in my shoe, but my arm gets problems too while I'm trying to repel. This is the pill bottle from Gillis's Drugs in Clinton, Indiana. Clinton, Indiana, about the time of the Oklahoma City bombing, had a nurse who was killing people in the hospital. Killed one person I knew. That's the hospital I was born in. I don't think King Kerchical was, but he was from Clinton, but I don't think he was actually born there. But anyway, this is a prescription from Gillis's Drugs. It's at the hospital there in Clinton, Indiana, to my mother. It says, Dr. E. Stephanie. I don't know who the hell that is, but it says, Margaret Martin, take 1 tablet by mouth every 8 hours as needed. Like, it says ibuprofen, that's what it is. Anyway, the glass in here comes from the Oklahoma City bombing. I was there, you know, probably a few weeks, maybe a week and a half or so, after the bomb went off, and I picked up, like, blocks away from the federal building, I picked up this glass that was all over the street. And I put it in this pill bottle. And, I think one of the most important things about that time for me was that I was pretty much walling around in my own self-pity, and when I got to the bombing site, there was a woman crying, and this one kid pulls up. He's got his grandfather or something that he's wheeling in this wheelchair. And the grandfather was in the bombing when it happened, and they were looking up at the building, and the kid won't look at the building. He's looking over to the other side. You know, he will not look at the federal building because he's so screwed up about it. And I realized at that point that, you know, my life wasn't that bad after all. So why should be me? Won't you believe with me? Won't you believe with me? Won't you believe with me? I got a ghost in my shoe. 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 I got a ghost in my shoe.